Yeah, right. Like my dad sold his. Actually, it's not sold, but he knew he'll go to insolvency, so he gave me $100 bill and then a plane ticket. He says, "Go save yourself." And essentially, he went bankrupt because of that. So when this girl approached me last December, she said she really her life was in, and she's a lawyer, believe it or not. She's a lawyer, and she said that she never got a break in life, and she's single. She's still not married, and she said she's heartbroken. She really wanted to go to this conference. And I called my teacher, and he tells me that financially do not give money. He says when they do not pay for their own energetic effort, it usually there is no exchange of energy and it does not work out. He says, I've had tons of experience, listen to me. And bullheaded me, right? I wouldn't listen. But that's typical of me. I felt, what can go wrong, right? Like I was thinking. So I simultaneously was given a rule by him that don't hoard money towards Christmas. Whatever you have, flush it back to your organization and start over, it'll come back. So I had a credit card a limit that I could use for my son's education in January. And I said, hey, you know what, I can use and borrow that from the credit card. And she promised the minute she comes back, she's going to start paying me, and she'll pay me for 19 months. Okay, so she takes the money.
You gave her a loan.
I borrowed from the credit card and I gave her a loan. So when I went to the bank, she wanted to co-borrow. They told her her credit score was 480. They said under 650, they don't. Yeah, you could do nothing. It seems under 650. Right. Mine was like over 750, and that is credit worthy. Yeah. So they told me in my name they'll give her a loan. Plus, I gave her my credit card. Okay, so two things.
Yeah, right. So you're like a co-signer first, right?
So co-signer for a $10,000 loan from the bank. Plus, she borrowed money from my credit card, meaning like she took my credit card with her.
Sure.
Meaning like the numbers. Yeah. I didn't give her the physical card.
Right.
So she goes to India, and the credit card, Chase puts like a block because they felt it was identity theft for somebody using it in another country. So she wanted to borrow $9,000 on my credit card, and they would only process 3, and they blocked it. Right. Okay, so she was held at the welcome center, like a reception, and they would not let her attend the course, and they sent her back. In spite of giving her the loan, in spite of giving her the credit card. So she blamed me for not attending the course, spent the money, came back and wrote a letter, I'm sending you all the blessings. And I stopped paying anything for me. So now I'm holding $13,000 in debt, and nothing I could do. You know, like I was shocked. So when I called the organization, they said, it was my fault. They said nothing can be done. So I'm like trying to see what is a spiritually right thing to do. So I came across a spiritual teaching of this avatar. His name is Ram. He's the first guy who figures out human rules and regulations. So he says when he was a baby, a crow tried to steal a donut from him. He's eating. Like, you know, the baby, like he probably is 2-year-old. Just like how the monkeys come and grab and stuff. So the crow grabs his snacks and flies off. Okay? His hand stretches and stretches and stretches and stretches. Keeps going after the crow, doesn't let it go until the crow gives him back his donut and he eats it. So the lesson is from that avatar, I learned that you do not give up on wrong things. You have to pursue it until it comes and becomes a justice. So I prayed about it. And the reason I had to pray about it is in April. Remember, I went to park in parking lot. I told you guys, and they wouldn't let me out of the parking lot because my credit score tanked. Yeah, I went to State Street. I went and parked in a parking lot. So my credit limit was okay. And because of all this shenanigans, my credit score dropped to 680.
Oh my God.
So they shrunk my credit limit to 140.
What?
So I couldn't get out of the garage. So I called this guy and I said, the credit card company, I said, what happened? They said, if you urgently put in $1,800, we will release your car. I said, what? I said, but I need to get out today. They said, it'll take 2 business days for your money to clear. So not only I have to give the money, they're not going to let my car out, and my car was in the garage. And that's when I said, you know what? I don't care about spirituality. I really need my life to be in order. My husband says, I cannot believe it. He says, Dr. Doe, sweet little. Then here you are saying, somebody saying, bend over, and you're saying, how far? That's what he said.
That's funny,
He was pissed. He says, I'm going to ship you back to India, he said to me.
Yeah,
He was like so ticked off, like I couldn't believe like I was such an idiot. But like, I'm trying to figure out like what is spiritually right, what is like, ethically right, how to empathize and stuff. And that's when I realized really financially should never get involved with people. So I decided, okay, you know what? Whatever it takes, I'm going to go to court.
Yeah.
So I went to court. What they told me is the max I can ask for is only 7,000, not more than that. So I decided, okay, I'm going to take it into 2 separate views. One is she used my credit card to fly to India. There is some of the money I gave, and she used her credit card, but essentially transferred the money to her account. So that is $3,900 I was paying at 29% interest rate, plus what she used in India, another 29% interest rate. So $6,900, I went to the court and I decided to ask for it separately. They told me, are you willing to waive the other ones? I didn't answer because I felt personally it's not their business. What I gave as a bank loan is not their business. I'm not even there for that. The only thing I'm talking about is she is a lawyer. She misunderstood the law and she thought I was asking for the 13,000. So she gave them information she doesn't need to. She says, she told me she'll give me 19,000. She only gave 13,000. That's when judge was saying, but she didn't even ask for 13. She's only asked for 69. So then she immediately corrects herself and she says, oh, in that case, if she makes sure she doesn't go after the other money, I'll give it to her. And he says, he looked at me, he says, you won. And then he didn't even ask. He says, so now tell me how much you're willing to pay back. She originally agreed to pay back $1,000 a month. She says she owes a lot of money to IRS, so she can only give me $100 a month for 71 months.
Oh my God.
That's what she agreed to. Yeah. So
unbelievable.
Yeah. And
so
she
sorry.
sleazy.
Yeah,
and she says
sleazy.
everything else was a gift. And it's her money, she said. So this is the agreement. Like, see, it says here, she pay $100 a month for 71 months. Like where it says
pay monthly.
$100 a month for 71 months. So I decided, okay. So then afterwards, this came out. So I wrote to India. It's a spiritual organization. I said, whatever money I gave it to her, use it towards donations to build the temple. So she tells them, whatever money came in her account, I cannot get it back and it belongs to her. She'll use it for future course. So I told them, I am your barrier. You owe nothing to her. And I said, I sued her. I got this in US court. India doesn't have the same judicial system. You
Right.
cannot claim bankruptcy.
Right.
So I called the Bar Association. They said the minute judgment is on her to call them, it's ethical violation, and they will even make her stop practicing law.
Good.
So, but I didn't want to do that route. Instead, what I want to do, since she says she owes a lot of money to IRS,
Mhm.
I'm going to report it as a student loan. I gave it to her, $10,000,
Yeah.
and she owes it back, and so that she will pay IRS at least tax on it.
Yeah.
You know, like
Well, that doesn't
this
help
way,
you.
this way,
How does that help you?
because at least I can show I had a loss of 10,000.
Oh, I
See,
I
then,
got
like,
you.
at least,
Yeah,
like, I don't need to pay
Yeah,
a
yeah.
tax on that 10,000.
Right.
Otherwise, I will have to take insurance, like, like it feels I am on mass health, like, every little bit helps.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm calling my dad. My dad has this thick skull, it's like almost like working with a concrete brain, So I'm telling my dad, I said, I want you to figure out how to, because he's my tax guy,
Yeah.
how to report it. Oh, it's not possible. I said, Dad, can you at least think so I don't need to feel this much stressed,
Right.
and at least research and come back? He says, you agreed not to go after the money. I said, Dad, that's her argument. I
Right.
never agreed.
Right. Right.
I said, you're hearing it differently like a poor guy. I said, I have proven to you I'm better than you. You always was holding a bucket that had empty.
Yeah.
I am telling you, I have an office. Each time you visit me, I give you bus charge, and I have gone beyond you. At least would you listen to me?
Right. Right.
So now he says, okay, go research and come back to me. He wouldn't even support me. He gives me more of a problem.
Yeah.
So I
That's
told him,
good.
okay, I'm going to research. So I went online. There is called social financing, sofi.com.
Mhm.
They are a group of people supporting each other as a private lenders. And I'm going to become a member, and I'm going to figure out through them how to become private lender. So I'll use the same terms, and I can report to IRS she took the money from me.
Right.
Because my goal is to make her accountable. I don't care whether she pays or not, but it's on the record that somebody took money from me, like this long hand that is chasing the crow.
Right. Right.
And like to even have it on record, because it's all money laundering. She took money from me to use it for a purpose it's not even meant for.
Right.
Didn't finish what. So everybody failed because of her. The institution failed because if she goes after them, they'll end up losing money. I failed, and she didn't do what she's supposed to do. And all three people, she's making them miserable, saying she is causing so much stress in my life. That's what she wrote to all my friends.
No.
And the perfect justice is,
No.
today I looked at my credit score, it went up 156 points. Now it is 786.
Well,
So that is
that's
sweet
good.
justice. Sweet justice is I got judge to agree with me.
Yeah.
And the judge even asked her, are you really a lawyer? And she says, yes. And he says, what are you? You practice with a group of people? She said, yes. And he says, which law school you went to? She says, Massachusetts Community Law Schoolers.
Yeah.
Some bogus, I mean, I shouldn't say bogus, like, I don't know, maybe they're a legitimate college, but the way she says she makes only $26,000 per year, which is poverty line.
Yeah.
How can a lawyer be poor?
I don't know.
I wonder whether
She's
she's
not doing a
mentally
very good
disabled
job. Yeah.
and she's getting disability income, and that's what she's reporting. I mean, that would make more sense to me.
Yes.
Because disability income is more than what she's making. But anyway, so that's what made me tear up, because by doing all the right thing, because my teacher said, like, hey, don't worry. And my son had to drop out of college because he was trying to do 2 courses because I was coming short. So he became forestry major instead of doing both the environmental science and forestry. So I could save another $6,000 there. And so he's going to community college, Framingham. And then in fall, he'll go back to University of Vermont. But, we have to shut down, a little bit more of our finances. But in 2 months, I built my credit back. Now I can get my loans.
Yeah.
But you know how much energy it takes for me to support one person financially in the community, because she told the judge, oh, she has 2 offices. She's very rich. She gave it to me, everything as a gift. That's what she told. And she wants now the money back.
That is so sad. I just, yeah, I went through, we told you about the roommates we had. And I just really felt like I was helping a friend along, like not lifelong, but a good 15 years I knew this woman. And she's just so unappreciative and just hurt me so bad on purpose, saying things like, I'm sorry I ever introduced you to my child. And she claims that we kicked her out. They had a month and 6 weeks. 6 months to begin with. Yeah, 5.5 months later, it was like, shit or get off the pot, pardon my language. Sorry. But if I was helping with for them to help themselves.
See, one of my teacher used to say, don't throw pearls at the pigs. This is like don't throw pearls at the pig, because they wouldn't appreciate. But one thing I'm learning is there is a reason people are poor. Like, in that state, like homeless, there is a reason. And I think we cannot shake them. They have to learn their lesson. Like some people are homeless deliberately. I even offered one guy. I went and asked this guy. I said, hey, don't panhandle. Come with me. I'll do some volunteer. He says, I make $20 on the street. So I'm happy. Yeah. He really would rather do $20 for 2 hours or whatever it is that takes him to stand. Then come with me and do little chores.
Right.
So I feel it's not my business anymore to fix people. This is the second part. Remember that other homeless squatter I invited? I told you, right? He sued me for cockroaches in his room after 2 years not paying rent. And so I ended up being taken to court. I feel personally people are there because he was on disability. He's only 51. He was on disability for 7 years. So he thought, when I told him, I said, hey, you really need to get out. I said, I need to rent the space. He says, honey, I'm going to teach you a lesson. You cannot do that to me, okay? I am never going to leave here. His idea was to stay there, because if you stay there for 28 years, you can own the property. By law, I didn't know that. He had more knowledge than me.
Right.
So I actually went to court. I fought. And they told me, and I won, $7,000. But he countersued saying that I gave him a place that's unsanitary because it had cockroaches. And so the judges said, if I give him last month, so that he can move out, because it's my responsibility, then, I can let him evict. But he said it was not unsanitary because I was renting for Section 8. And his lawyer said, if you ever go after your $7,000, I am going to sue you for $12,000. And I'll make money off you. So if you let it go, we will let it go. We will live out 6 more months, because legally that's the max they can live up to the court. And he says, then my client can leave. So I asked him, hey, what are you doing now? He's on Suboxone stuff, so I know.
Sure.
So he says to me, I'm couch surfing. It's a good justice. God gave him real good justice. But what I understood is, don't try. I actually told the judge, I said, I went to law school, I studied, and I argued my own case. And, in the end, the judge said, the counsel argued very well. He called me a counsel. And then he says to me, I told him, I said, I really wanted to be kind to him. And he looked at me and says, you have no business being kind. We know how to take care of people like this. And we only want to see what law you broke by doing this. Squatters have a right in Massachusetts. and he says, you violated the law by asking him to leave. That he said, I produced an environment that is not peaceful for him to live. And that's the way they judge. They penalized me for disturbing his peace. And that's the penalty. Can you believe it?
No.
I cannot believe
These
Massachusetts.
people are like,
Doesn't it make you not want to help?
they went to
Like,
CTI.
I actually immediately got rid of the property, like I was saying, you know what? I'm like saying, thank God, But
These
anyway.
people went to CTI to get help.